Welcome into the final Patriots training camp recap of the summer. This training camp recap is brought to you by Starland Sportsplex and Fun Park in Hanover. Alex Barth, Scott Zolak. For the final time, look, camp keeps going. I'll have coverage along with Matt Dolph on 98.5thesportshub.com, but the tone really shifts after this practice to getting ready for week one. The evaluation portion of camp is kind of past us, as is a lot of the general player instruction. And it came with a good measuring stick, Zoe. The lone joint practice of the summer against the Philadelphia Eagles today. Story of two sides of the ball. There was the offense and there was the defense, but I know you want to start with the offense.
Yeah, I knew it walking out today. You see them walking out. I know they were wearing all white, but that's an NFC East team. When I mean an NFC East team, it's big, like the Giants, like the Cowboys.
You see Jordan Davis?
Oh, my God. I mean, David Andrews stood up with the two guards and the two nose tackles and the edge guys. They're like twice their size. That was men versus boys today, and it did not look good from the offensive line protection standpoint. You gotta worry now about the game Thursday night. So coaches take the film, they go in there, and it's not definitive who's going to play, when they're going to play. But like last week, if you're afraid to get Drake May hit, and that's part of the reason he was limited somewhat last week,
right?
Does that carry over this week based on what you saw here today?
I mean,
May looks like he couldn't get rid of one pass. Do you have the final stats on May?
I can pull them up.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. But I think Phil Perry was looking at it here. There were 12 dropbacks. 6 of them would have been sacks.
Yeah.
So that's a high number, 50%. You can't even get the ball out of your hands. AJ Brown looked great for them. That's why you pay a lot for those guys. That's what we finally saw now in real time. But it makes you wonder what the hell happened to this Philadelphia team at the end of the year. How did that team fall off a cliff?
Well, I was watching the Patriots defense against the Eagles offense, and we can get into that because I think it was more over there. But yeah, the offensive line, especially the tackles. Look, the quarterback numbers today won't be pretty, but this is why you sometimes see people get annoyed when the quarterback practice stats, the just completions and attempts, get used as gospel. And sometimes there's value in that information. Today is a day, though, where it wasn't pretty for either quarterback objectively. Jacoby Brissett had a couple overthrows. Like I said, May was really struggling to get the ball out, but neither of these guys had time.
No.
Neither of these guys had time to throw the ball. And specifically, it's tough to say because I want to say the interior was fine, but it's not even necessarily a case of the offensive line limited what we could judge from the rest of the offense. Even the tackles limited what you could judge from the interior guys at times.
Yeah, and that's where the pressure came from. It was from the outside. So those are the ones that are condensed in the pocket. Problem is, if you're stout in the middle, there's not much room to slide up into. And I really don't want these guys taking off running when they can't see things that well, or they feel that they have pressure, that they're going to be on the run, because they're not really running quarterbacks. Got a lot to work on until Thursday. And then after that, we're shut down. We won't see it. We won't know the progression of Drake May and how he's looking. And then we're going to be for real after that. Once we get through the Commander game, you're already game planning Commander week for Cincinnati.
Yeah,
that's a throwaway game. That's going to be a junk game.
That's what I mean by this is the end of the real training camp period. They'll have 2 more weeks. Some of those practices will be open to us, so we'll try to fill you in as best as we can on 98.5thesportshub.com on Drake May's progress. I had to get that in there. But you said last time we did this show yesterday, you said you wanted to see as much as Drake May as possible come Thursday. We saw a lot of him today. You said you want to see a lot of him today too. And I liked the number of reps they gave him today. Do you still want to see a lot of him on Thursday?
Yeah, I want to see him start the game.
Okay.
I think you know what you have in Jacoby Brissett. I don't know how much better it gets Jacoby to go out there and play 4 or 5 snaps. So why not just play Drake May? You didn't play him enough last week. Get him out there. Get him the feeling of starting, of playing with the ones. And be vanilla with your calls then. But allow him just to get out there and function in a couple series. That's the thing that bugs me is you sit around, you look at guys like Bo Nix and how extensively he played. He can't hold Drake May's jock. Sorry to term it that way, but that's what it is.
Well, look, J.J. McCarthy played a bunch of snaps, and now he's on the shelf.
Yep.
Torn meniscus.
Yep,
so
torn meniscus.
It comes and goes, and that's something else you can do, too. You mentioned just getting him out there to get in the rhythm. You can put him out there and let him go through the pre-line checks and everything and just call runs. Because if he's getting hit on runs, there's a massive problem. But
runs and bootlegs, there's nothing wrong with that.
You can just go heavy on that. And it's the pre-snap stuff is really what he needs to work on. The pre-snap stuff is where the value is, and that doesn't. You're not getting hit before they shouldn't be getting hit before the snap. Again, tough day just for the offense to operate. But when they did, any of the skill position players stand out to you?
Pop Douglas. If Pop Douglas doesn't get open, you're cooked. It seems like they were locked up on the outside. Pop's the only one really giving you anything in the middle.
He was awesome, and he was going most of the day was going against Quinion Mitchell who's a corner for Philly. He was their first-round pick. So that was a first-round draft pick that he put in a blender all day. I thought he was excellent. I also thought, as much as we just kind of got on the line, they did open up some holes in the run game early, and Ramondre Stevenson, I thought, looked good. He had a good burst in his step.
You see a little bit more power, a little more counter stuff today. I just wonder, as they watch these zone reads, those stretch runs, past tackle, outside tackle, I don't really know if that's Ramondre's run. And I don't know if they have the ability to run it with the line that they have. I don't know how athletic they view it after they look at it. So maybe they're getting a little bit more away from that. They're going to stay interior with powers and counters.
And when they want to go outside, they can mix that in with Antonio Gibson. That's more his speed. On the defensive side of the ball, and I'll remind everybody, this Patriots training camp recap is brought to you by Starland Sportsplex and Fun Park in Hanover. I thought the defense was good today. I thought the defense had a really good day. If you were worried about the defense, my big takeaway from today is nothing changed. The offense is the issue we thought it was.
Right.
And the defense looked representative. Jalen Hurts, you want to talk about not getting comfortable in the pocket. Jalen Hurts never looked comfortable in the pocket today. He was running around a ton.
Every time I looked, he's on the run over there.
Yeah. It's not like he was scrambling to create. Like it was the kind of scrambles you see it from these kinds of quarterbacks. Devon Gottschalk compared it to Josh Allen after practice where nothing's there. And they have the athleticism where they'll just run to the sideline, hold the ball out in front, gain 3 yards. It wasn't anything game-breaking. I thought Christian Gonzalez had a really good day, was excellent against A.J. Brown in one-on-ones, and then was, with him right there when he covered him in practice. A.J. Brown, they kind of put different corners on him later in practice. I know you saw him take over there, but for the most part, Peppers had a really good day. I saw him break up a couple of passes to tight ends. Matthew Judon was playing his hair on fire.
Judon had great effort today. I thought, especially – he's kind of joking, but he's running down the plays from behind. It looked like Ben Watson getting after Champ Bailey.
Punched the ball out on
Saquon Barkley
at one point.
Hustle plays. And I think that's him kicking himself in the ass to get going. And I think that's how he's getting his reps, his wind, sort of a way to work out, go through the motions, the steps, and see what you're seeing.
Yeah, he was excellent. You saw the playmakers make plays today, which is the simplest way I can put it. You saw the big-name guys step up.
Polk made a great catch, right?
Polk made a good catch, the catch of the day. I thought the rookie receivers were okay. Javon Baker was solid, but again, it was so tough to evaluate those guys today just because of everything that was happening up front. All right, so before we wrap it up, we talked about the quarterback element and the offensive line element of the game on Thursday. Yep. What else are you going to have an eye on?
Special teams still. Let's see if this Wallace kid could still give you something in the return game. Can he do anything else? The kickoff rule is still interesting to me.
The Patriots kickoff unit looked really good. They had the Eagles struggling.
We're going to see if you can maybe generate some returns. The kicking competition between Sly and Ryland.
I think Sly is the edge right now.
I think he does too. And I just hope we're just going to go with the younger kid. That's why you're in the problem you're in right now.
Right.
Instead of keeping Folk.
No, I just to get back to real quick on the kickoff. So the Patriots kickoff unit, they had one where they forced a fumble on the return. Mm-hmm. They had another that they squibbed, and the returner couldn't figure out where he was, and he fielded the ball as his foot was out of bounds on the one. So that's a plus play.
Sure, you get the ball there.
They had another squib kick that I think the unit got frustrated because before anybody could field it, that's when we got the one fight of practice while you guys were talking to Robert Kraft.
Yeah, it was right 10 yards from it.
I saw that.
Was it really pretty good fisticuffs in there? Like somebody's going to get...
No, I don't. Nobody got tossed. Let me put it that way. Nobody got tossed. I think I'd call more of a scrum than a fight.
Okay.
But Patriots kickoff unit might be cooking a little something up. So we'll watch for that on Thursday. And then I want to see what happens at tight end. We saw what it looked like without Hunter Henry. Austin Hooper had a touchdown. He also had a drop. I don't really trust Mitchell Wilcox as a third tight end. LaMichael Petway, Jaheim Bell haven't popped yet. Are they going to need to go get another guy like they did with Pharaoh Brown last year?
You never know.
I think that's a good position to watch. So
and you may have to grab another tackle too if this thing doesn't work out. If you look awful on Thursday,
the difference is you can find a tight end. They found Pharaoh Brown last year. How much did Vidarian Lowe and Tyrone Wheatley help them? Those are the kind of tackles that are available at that point. You can patch it together, but I don't think you're doing anything more than just like loosely patching it up. This and every Patriots training camp recap has been brought to you by Starland Sportsplex and Fun Park in Hanover. 13 episodes, Zoe. Thanks so much.
Great job, buddy, as always.
Thank you, you too. I appreciate it.
Thanks for doing the job.
We'll have more coverage today and for the rest of closed training camp on 98.5 thesportshub.com. And then I'll be back. I'm back on, I think, Sunday with Joe Murray. So I'll talk to you then. Until then, for Scott Zolak, I'm Alex Barth. Thanks for tuning in all training camp, guys.